Aloha my kako. This is Oracle of the Golden Spiral. Today I'm going to be using the vice versa. Oh, excuse me. Today I'm going to be using the vice versa tarot. This is going to be a reading for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. The way I work with this deck is a little bit different, and so the cards may appear to you to be upside down. It's just kind of how I worked with the deck. I tried it out the other way, and it's just not, it's harder to get the flow going, so I hope that that doesn't bother you too much. Hopefully it's more about the message, right? So this is going to be a reading for Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay, let's go ahead, one more shuffle and get started. Okay, I'm gonna take one from here. Okay, Leo, there is something, some journey, some passion of yours that you want to get started. In the past, it feels like you moved forward trusting that your movement was going to bring you the happiness that you were looking for. We'll get into it a little bit later to see how that actually turned out. We'll see the bridge between the past energy and the current energy. So you could be, yeah, it's something that it was, you know, your inner spark was lit. You were ready to go off on this new adventure. You really took matters into your own hands and you proceeded forward with one of the fastest energies towards your dreams, your visions, and your ultimate fulfillment. You can see this bird taking off into flight. This as well, your path, you thought your path was guided by the universe. You were working and co-creating to make this happen. Everything seemed to be, you know, within you. You knew your goal, you knew what you were out to go do, and you went for it with everything that you had in all of your heart. If this is a relationship, you really came to this person with a very honest, straightforward approach. You let them know exactly how you were feeling, and you believed that this was going to, that would be reciprocated and you would see this come to fruition and light up the sky. You offered everything that you had, and were emotionally naked, if I could put it that way. There was a, if this is a business situation instead, you really pumped your full energy and complete heart into it. Everything you got, you used it to move this project or whatever goal you had set out to. It's not necessarily just a goal, but you know, proceeded on that path with that experience, putting your entire being into it. Let's see where we are now. Okay. Okay, so not everything that you expected happened. Bridging that energy and this energy, it seems like whatever you were trying to obtain whether it be relationship, experience in a job, making it, you know, your pursuit of success. And really, I have to say that you were kind of focused on the goal, but it was a little bit more about the journey that was happening. On that journey, what you learned was it was going to take a lot more of you and more effort than you had originally anticipated. However, you are willing to give. You are willing to give that. You are coming and showing up with, you know, you're still showing up with you time after time after time. And what's missing here is like this solid brick wall that makes us feel like we want to be soaring, but there's something here. Maybe it's this other person, maybe it's people that you know are involved in this project, or at your work in some way, shape, or form, that even though this is how you want to show up, there's some restriction that's going on. I get a very like metering. It's not necessarily full stop, I'm confused, I don't know how to move forward. You know how to move forward. You have all that experience and what you've been working on and diligence in trying to create this for yourself. But it's like there's a metered, internally you're metering your dreamer and your adventurer aspects. I can only imagine it's because of others that are involved with you. This also will say that, you know, it could very well be that you, to the outside, are appearing as if there's a very like, I've got this, knight in shining armor, I'm willing to do all this work, like externally, but internally starting to question a little bit. It's like he's, now when I'm looking at him, it's less like charging forward and more like he's pulled on that rein a little bit on this unicorn to be like, okay, wait, hold on a second, let me get my bearings. Is this in fact what I want moving forward? And I think internally also quelling some passions in regard to whatever this situation is. With you, I will say that, I mean, this is the Leo card, and so internally, I really like the fact that you're showing up as you. You know who you are. You know what it is that, you know, what you want to accomplish in your life. You know that you have the ability to create whatever it is that you want, right? The King of Wands is a self-made man, and I don't know a Leo out there that doesn't take that wholeheartedly and proceed accordingly when it comes to things that they've decided that they're going to put their energy into. I think that there's a little bit of holding back on that, and my only, from the cards, from what I'm seeing, and we'll go into it a little bit further, but from what I'm seeing, you have made a determination that that's necessary for whatever reason. So let's find out why that is. Okay. Ah, okay. I think there's some internal reflection that really, it's like you're adjusting. You're still, I felt like there was a little bit of pulling back on here, and there is, but you're still the adventure on riding the unicorn into, you know, some world that is new to you, or no one has really been through or conquered, right? We don't know what we're going to find, but along our journey, I think we were talking a little bit about learning. What we've learned is that we have to kind of pull back a little, because maybe we're redefining who this is. We know who we are, but there are refinements going on within that because of things that we have learned and experienced. It could very well be, like I said earlier, it was a little harder than you anticipated, and you are willing to put in the work. You've been currently, approached this in a apprentice mindset because of the fact that you feel like it could be a missed opportunity if not dealt with correctly. And there's some additional learning and understanding that you've picked up about maybe what this truly means, right? Like, when we have a certain set of experiences, we show up with that filter, the filter that says, I'm going to make a difference and emotionally engage and connect in this way, because that's how you know how to connect. And I think what you're learning is that different people connect differently. And what, my shining armor is going to, my knight in shining armor is going to look completely different than someone else's. And so in respect to whoever you're dealing with or whatever situation you're dealing with, you're realizing that you have seen it from one viewpoint, and you're learning that other people have a different definition of what this truly is. And it's like you're pulling back to redefine who you are, and whether, it may be whether this fits, what you've learned has fit into your paradigm, whether you're able to, or how you're going to be able to incorporate that into your paradigm so that you can embark on, a new way of showing up like this. Okay, can you tell me a little bit more about this, please? Yeah. Whatever it is that you're trying to incorporate, I do think that you feel, right, this is the Leo card, this is strength. So like, I do feel like you'll be able to incorporate it, but it's just a little bit more difficult for you than you anticipated. Just like we said over here, this feeling probably translates out over here because we're really shifting what our own truths are. And I don't know about you, but I'm also a Leo, and so we're a fixed energy, right? Like, we see the world this way. This is how it is. People come to us and they're like, well, actually, maybe this. And we're like, nope, not that. This is how it is. So I think this is quite an experience, because you are now taking a look and saying, oh, you know what? Maybe that is how it is. There's no defense cards in that, right? It's just a little bit of pulling back and reassessing and being, she holds in her hand that illumination of what was kind of hidden and unseen. She beckons us to continue to move into that realm where the eclipse can, there's continual movement. The eclipse doesn't sit there forever, where it can open up, right? But this is the moon. What is an eclipse? It's the moon and the sun together, right? It's that moment where we have both of them, both of those energies coming together. And maybe it is the sun represents the yang qualities, more masculine energies within us. The moon represents that more internal yin allowance energy. And it's like in getting that we just had an eclipse too, didn't we? Solar eclipse. In bringing those two together, that energy has something to do with you being able to incorporate these new skills, this new information. If it's a relationship, you know, how this person wants to be, what that emotional offering and satisfaction means to them versus how we've always thought it should be. One more, please. Yeah. And as we figure that out and incorporate it, and let me see this too. Yeah. Okay. So 9 of Cups, 10 of Cups. As we move forward with that, as we're able to go ahead and incorporate that, once we move forward, we know how to move forward with our shooting star, right? What is the shooting star? We make a wish. As we move forward towards that wish, we do it with everything that we've learned and adjusted here, and it leads to ultimate happiness. So okay, I'm gonna pull this back. Sorry, I pull it back exactly how it was. Oh, sorry. And we're gonna split it one more time. I think, Leo, you set out with this amazing and beautiful goal, and you know, this denotes actualization and the universe working, you know, with you to go ahead and to accomplish that. I don't see why you won't be able to do this, but as you could see, there was an incredible amount of hard work that needed to be done. And I think that's what you're undertaking at the moment. Yep. Okay. So with this, again, universal energy is still working with you. If this is a relationship, this has been a beautiful reading about self-understanding, willingness, unconditional love for another through the understanding of their perspective, adjustments for that perspective, and in the end we end up with one of the best cards in the deck, which is the 10 of Pentacles, and this beautiful readjustment and rebirth that we were talking about earlier. You've got a little bit internal to go ahead and do that, but you are showing up, eyes of flame, ready to take on and incorporate this into who you are, and standing here proud and letting everyone see what it is that how you've leveled up, how you are able to now, even though being a fixed sign, putting in that work and that having the fortitude to adjust in the way that is necessary to support not just how you want to move forward, but how you and this situation, or if this is a love reading, this person can move forward into solid long-term stability and development and growth. Okay, I think that's what I have for you, Leo. Thank you so much. Thanks for putting up with the upside down cards. It really helps me to flow better, especially when I'm using vice versa. So with that, I wish you the best and mahalo.